Stop crime with a tip, collect a reward. That's the way it's supposed to work.
Based on these numbers, a clear red flag to me.
Tonight at 9.
I'm Lori Brown. Wait till you see the surprising details I uncovered about how North Texas Crime Stoppers keeps track of all of the crimes you help uncover and all of that reward money.
An exclusive Fox 4 investigation tonight at 9. Tonight, frustrated customers.
Once he received the money, nothing happened.
Families strained.
This is our grandmother's room.
The complaints against a well-known contractor and who he blames for his bankruptcy. Fox 4's Lori Brown investigates.
Hey, did you know you were going out of business when you kept asking for money from customers?
Tonight at 9.
Now, Fox 4 investigation has uncovered that the North Texas Crime Stoppers organization is not keeping track of very basic information about how reward money is being distributed. Fox 4's Lori Brown joining us in studio with what she's uncovered. Lori.
Steve, in the 4 months since our initial report, we've learned that North Texas Crime Stoppers is unable to show us any of the crimes solved or arrests made as a result of a tip to their hotline. First, let's take you back to June when the Dallas couple helped police capture a most wanted fugitive.
This is the man police are looking for, 41-year-old Leonard Lamar Neal, and tonight police need help from the public to find him.
It's been a few days, and this is the point where we continue to ask the public for their help.
Dallas police were out of leads and desperate to find a man who they say kidnapped a 7-year-old girl 5 days earlier.
They're covering all bases.
Thankfully, a Dallas couple was in the right place at the right time. Brianna and Kenyatta Jordan spotted Leonard Neal at a bus stop and immediately called 911. The result of their actions, police arrested Neal, taking him off North Texas streets. But the Jordans said when they called the North Texas Crime Stoppers hotline to ask about the reward,
we dialed 911 instead of the Crime Stoppers phone number. We're not able to get the reward.
With a case that shined a spotlight on a glaring flaw with the system, we began asking questions of North Texas Crime Stoppers.
People were going to start looking at that program as not being sincere.
Keith Owens, a former federal investigator with the Department of Homeland Security and now a distinguished lecturer at UT Arlington, said the program's rules are flawed.
And would it be a bad message that if you call 911, you're not eligible?
Oh, that would be a terrible message, because at that point, then you're going to have a reduction of phone calls.
Dean went on to reveal their system makes it difficult, if not impossible, for anyone to ever know if their tip led to an arrest, even asking me for advice. I have no idea if others were calling at the same time. What would your recommendation be in that case? Don't you work hand in hand with police and can ask, were these the only people calling? We encourage people all the time to call 911, call police. As far as eligibility for these funds, there is a certain way for it to occur. I asked if that means Crime Stoppers' message is to call the hotline before 911 to be eligible. Dean's answer revealed deceptive messaging. Call 911 always first, no exceptions.
It feels like we were misled.
A week after our story aired in July and after a Fox 4 viewer came forward to provide the reward amount on his own, Crime Stoppers did pay the Jordans their reward. But the process raised serious questions.
The North Texas Crime Commission, the NTCC, the Dallas branch of Crime Stoppers, they need a complete overhaul.
While Fox 4 News was asking questions, a man approached me about a concerning situation he encountered when he provided a tip. In March 2021, we reported on a fugitive wanted for several assaults.
Does it feel like the system's broken?
Definitely. They advertise themselves as, they're taking crime off the streets, preventing crime, getting violent people off the streets. But really, I feel like they're trying their best not to reward it up.
Wouldn't it be a good idea to keep a list of here are all of the crimes solved thanks to a tip? You going to pay me? That's a full-time job. Do something like that. We need a director. Why don't you put that in a question for us? It's a great question, but she's got to ask the police departments, Richard. We don't keep those records. I mean, I don't want to lie to her. No, I don't want you to. I think that's a good question. I reached out to police departments that work with North Texas Crime Stoppers. Those departments told me they do not keep records regarding Crime Stoppers tips. We don't record them because no one has ever come to Crime Stoppers and said, "What have you done?" Until now, that is.
Scenes like this were playing out all across the greater Houston area, with some homeowners able to go out and find their stranded cats or dogs they had to leave behind. And it's not just homeowners who are reeling.
Under 3 feet of water, the entire thing, so it's basically ruined.
The state says about 156,000 homes or buildings are damaged by floodwaters. Fox 4's Lori Brown spent the day in Katy, where many homes are still flooded.
Clarice, you can see that this neighborhood in Katy is still covered with water. I'm only a few steps out, and you can see how deep it is. It is far too deep for most vehicles, so today the National Guard stepped in.
Walter Aguilar.
These volunteers helping flood victims
One person per house.
are actually flood victims themselves.
Yeah, your house is deemed too wet, too deep, whatever. The military says no.
Nathan Reese has close to 2 feet of water in his Cinco Ranch home.
The vast majority, 80% of people don't have flood insurance, me included, because we never saw a need. Because this area, quote unquote, does not flood.
TV.
This is the scene many homeowners are returning to.
This is really all I got out. I got a few pairs of shorts and my Crocs, 2 pairs of shoes, waders and Crocs. That's what I got out of the house.
John Fortier's living room has water up to the top of his coffee table.
And walk carefully.
Reese says seeing volunteers from all over the country is overwhelming.
We've seen fire trucks from Los Angeles, from Oakland, and I know Dallas Cowboys, I'm a Houston Texans fan, but thank you for the donation.
And even though most of his possessions are ruined, he decided he still had something he could give.
I told my kids, when I cry, it's not because of the storm. It's because of people out here that are here to help.
A lot of people are taking things into their own hands, heading out in kayaks and boats to try to get to their houses. The water is starting to go down out here, but it will likely still be days, if not weeks, before people can begin that long process of rebuilding here. Clarice.
Lori Brown live in Katy, thank you. People across North Texas have been living for days without running water, and the toll is especially hard on people in the low-income community of Vickery Meadows. People lined up with buckets, hoping that a fire hydrant would be turned on again. Fox 4's Lori Brown joins us with the latest. Lori.
Clarice, Dallas has 4 water distribution sites, but none that are near the Vickery Meadow neighborhood, leaving their only source of water right now from the kindness of strangers.
It's been hard. It's been rough. It's been so sad.
People desperate for water lined up buckets at a fire hydrant at the Villas del Solomar apartments in the Vickery Meadow neighborhood of Dallas.
Yesterday, we started pumping our water from the fire hydrant, and it's more work than I've ever experienced.
Someone managed to turn the hydrant on Monday, but Tuesday, residents like Ricky Mills were left to wonder where they would get water to wash dishes and flush toilets, not to mention laundry for her and her 3-year-old daughter.
Test of faith.
Man, it's been crazy, man. It's hard to do a lot of things we don't have water, man. Can't bathe, brush your teeth, wash your face, cook.
Water's heavy, and this is just a three-gallon jug, but that's 21 pounds. And I go upstairs, and it's hard for me.
The days without water are on top of the days without power.
I don't know whether I'd be happier without water or without electricity.
Monday, the library across the street filled up containers of water for people, but today, the library is no longer doing that, leaving people to simply hope that this fire hydrant gets turned back on.
Yeah, I got it.
A U-Haul filled with water seemed like a mirage, but it was real.
I just said thank you, Jesus.
A group of Dallas residents have been picking up water from the city and then delivering it where they hear there is need.
No doubt countless stories of families sharing this experience together today. Fox 4 Lori Brown had the opportunity to not only cover the once-in-a-lifetime event, she had her kids there with her for most of the day, and their schoolmates too. Lori's at Canyon Creek Elementary School with a personal account of this afternoon. Lori.
Steve, yes, it was so special to get to see this eclipse through the eyes of children, and especially not just any children, but my own children here along with their closest friends.
It started to get really cloudy.
McShane Brown, my son in 4th grade, has been counting down the days to the eclipse and watching every weather report.
I noticed that there was blue sky.
And then there was the moment we all realized we might get to see totality despite an earlier blanket of clouds.
I've seen the sun get eaten up piece by piece.
My daughter Bella Brown was in her 2nd grade classroom when hope arrived.
And she said, I see blue skies, and we were all screaming.
Brooklyn Brown is in pre-K, where she's been learning there could be things to listen for during totality.
The bugs making sound.
Yeah. Principal Ashley Baker has been working to capitalize on an event like no other here in North Texas.
Anytime we can get students excited about real world learning, that's the absolute best. So they've been running outside. They're like, look at the moon, look, it's starting, it's happening.
I like that the whole moon covers the sun. We're on the fourth stage of the solar eclipse. We only have 2 more stages to go until it's the full solar eclipse. It looks like it's getting darker.
What does it look like right now?
A block of cheese. I see it! 3, 2, 1!
And then it happened. And a cloud cleared just in time.
When it got totally dark and the moon passed through.
Like, it was just like a ray of sunlight around, like, just black.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
I saw the partial eclipse a couple months ago, but that was really, really different. So and it was so dark.
I'd never seen anything like it. I'm so lucky that I'm able to see this right now.
But as for those bugs Brooklyn wanted to hear,
what did you hear the most of?
Screaming.
Exactly.
It was so cool because you could take your glasses off in the middle of it, and we were screaming and shouting because it was so fun. The temperature got colder. We got to see it, and some people don't get to see it.
There's no word in the English dictionary that could explain how happy I was.
Do you think you'll remember this?
Yes, forever.
Yeah, I wanted to hit the rewind button. I want to travel to another solar eclipse. That was so amazing.
It's hard for me to imagine it, but my oldest son here is going to be 31 years old when the next total solar eclipse happens in the United States. And because this was such a fun experience, we've been talking about maybe that would be fun to plan a trip along that path of totality, which is going to go from the Pacific Northwest down to Florida, McShane's birthplace.